Hey friends, Dr. Sherri here with another episode of Off the Couch, and I'm sorry I'm a couple minutes behind because I'm having some technical difficulty today. So I'm on my phone instead of my laptop, instead of my usual webcam, so things are a little bit different for me, and I hope that I can see your comments as you ring in. Please let me know you're here, drop your name, drop me a line about who you are, because that's what we're going to talk about today is who you are. You know, we just on the heels of, I did a 4-episode series on the words that we choose. And it got me thinking. I decided to stop that series for now because it's very valuable, and I gave you a lot of valuable information to work through with those 4 specific words. If you don't know what they are, go back and watch the episodes. The last 4 episodes are right here on my Dr. Sherri page. But I wanted to go a little bit deeper today, like from the back end. So I talked a lot about the words that we choose, and today I want to talk about how we respond to words that are presented to us. And I'd love to hear from you what your responses are to some of these questions when people ask you. But I'm going to ask you personally to share and be vulnerable and be transparent with me, because that's the way we grow, and that's the way we ultimately establish this thriving thought world that I talk about, right? So when somebody asks you, you can think about this like on a social media group, like Facebook, for example. Somebody might say, okay, you're new to the group, introduce yourself, tell us who you are, right? So, or you're at a party, or you're at a gathering, or you're new to the workplace, or something like that, and somebody says, tell me who you are, right? Or usually they say, tell me about you. And typically we take that to mean, tell me who you are. Like, who am I? Who am I? I'm thinking like, I'm going back to that movie, Ferris Bueller, when he's like, who am I? Anyway, it's a little bit of an uncomfortable question if we are to answer it truthfully. Because how do we answer that? How do we answer who am I? And we've talked about this before, you guys. If you've heard me speak, or you've listened to watched any of my videos, or listened to anything I've written, you've heard me talk about the deeper meaning behind who are you, or tell me about you. And it got me thinking about us women in particular, and how we respond to that question, and how we respond to introducing ourselves. And these are a lot of the things that I've heard from women who are introducing themselves, or who have been asked, tell me more about you, or tell me who you are. I hear them say things like, well, I'm a mom of 3 or 4, or whatever the number is, right? I'm a wife too, and fill in the blank. They'll provide their husband's name or their significant other's name. I'm a business coach. I'm a psychologist. I'm a pet trainer. I'm a teacher. I'm a stay-at-home mom. There's all of these different things that we kind of describe ourselves as. And the question that I have for you is, what do all of those answers or responses have in common? Well, they all refer to roles, the roles that we play. And the roles that we play, they might impact who we are and give us an outlet to share with others who we are, but they are not who we are. The roles that we've been gifted with, mom, wife, girlfriend, friend, sister, aunt, auntie, as some people say. That's what my nieces and nephew call me, Auntie Sherri. These are roles, right? But they're not who I am. Who I am is my personality. It's my temperament. It's the gifts that I've been given specifically to me. You know, God broke the mold when he made me, just like he broke the mold when he made you. You are undeniably, unmistakably you. That is your who. And I know that's uncomfortable for us to say, well, who am I if I'm not those roles? Well, again, those are the roles that you fulfill, and you share you deliver you through those roles. And you might say, well, Sherri, it doesn't seem like that big of a deal, right? Well, when we're talking about building a thriving thought world, it can be a big deal, especially for us women. Let me take the mom thing, for example. And I might go a little deep here, guys. I'm not sure where this is going yet, but chime in and let me know that you're with me, that you follow me, that you hear me, that you agree with me, that you disagree with me. Let me know something by commenting here below, and hopefully I can see it here on my phone. So people that are a mom, sorry, interruption. Women that are moms, they might introduce themselves as, I'm a mom, right? Women who are not moms typically don't say, hi, I'm Sherri, I'm not a mom, right? We don't talk about the roles that we don't play. We talk about the roles that we do play. But when we're thinking about the word mom, I want you to think about what that means to a woman, what that means to you. I think it's a beautiful thing for women to be gifted with the ability and the grace, Lord knows you need it, to be a mom, right? It's a beautiful, beautiful journey. And not every woman is a mom, right? And so they don't introduce themselves and say, hey, I'm not a mom. They just say something else, maybe their career or something like that. So what happens is our identity begins to be formed by our response that our who is the role we play. So for example, if somebody's always asking me, tell me about yourself, tell me who you are, and I say, I'm a mom, let's just say that's the first thing off the bat, that really starts to absorb in the brain, and it starts to build my identity, that's who I am. And I challenge that, not because I challenge any of the beauty of being a mom, it's amazing, right? But because it becomes your identity. And when something is your identity, when a role is your identity, that also begins to determine or to define your worth, right? So I can't tell you guys how many times I've heard moms say, gosh, I'm just not a good enough mom. So immediately, let's backtrack. I've already identified myself, my who, as a mom, and then I'm telling myself my identity as a mom is not good enough. So therefore, I, as a person, am not good enough. You see how it's kind of like this slippery slope, but it's really not. It's not as unimportant as you might imagine. You see, your who is who you were gifted to be. That is your who. It is your talents, it is your strengths, it is your temperament, it is your personality. It is all of those wonderful things that make you unmistakably you. It is not the roles that you play. What's great is that you get to deliver you in all of the roles that you play, right? So maybe you're a creator. Maybe you're a problem solver. Maybe these are some of your talents, some of your gifts. Maybe your personality, you have patience. God love you because I don't, right? Maybe that's why I'm not a mom. But in your role, mothers, in your role as a mom, you take those talents and gifts and you use them. And it's what makes you a great mom, right? I would just encourage you, moms and not moms, either on purpose or not on purpose. That's for another episode. But sorry guys, I'm on my phone here and it's interrupting me. But I would encourage you to define your who as who you are, that's unmistakably you, that can never be stripped away, right? Not your roles. Your roles don't make you who you are. And I know I'm going to keep saying that, and I want to reiterate it because I want to challenge you with something. The next time somebody says, hey, who are you? Tell me more about yourself. Something like that. I want you to really stop and think about that. Who are you? For me, if somebody were to ask, let me give you an example. If somebody were to ask me that, here's what I'd say. I'd say, I'm a woman who has a drive to develop other women and serve them in whatever role I find myself, right? So it's not that I'm a coach. I don't say, oh, well, I'm a coach, I'm a speaker, I'm a writer. It's not any of that. Those are my roles, but that's not my who. You see, I have been gifted with the gift of learning. I've been gifted with the gift of developing other people, of really helping them, being a mirror for them to see the amazing people that they are, including you. I don't know why I just sung that. It just sounded fun because you're amazing and it makes me sing. And so it's not my role that defines me. I can be all of those things in any role. And I don't then define my worth based on the quality of my perceived quality of performance in whatever role I find myself. So my identity is not as a coach, right? My identity is as a woman, is as a child of God, is as a woman who has a desire to serve other people with the gifts that she's been given. That's it. That's my who. It doesn't sound very complicated, I know. My what is coaching, speaking, and writing, right? But when I know who I am, I evaluate myself on that, on my innate drive to develop me and to use my gifts in whatever role that I find myself. So that's what I encourage each of you to do today, that the next time somebody asks you who you are, to tell me about you, tell me more about you. Talk about who you are. What are your talents? What are your gifts? What are your strengths? What are the things that make you undeniably, unmistakably you? Ask your significant other, ask your friends, ask your family members. They will tell you. And it's not about being the good, bad, and the ugly. It's about what makes you undeniably you. Sometimes there's quirkiness, sometimes there's other things, but it's the things that draw people to you for who you are. It's never what you do that draws people to you or that enhances or increases or evaluates or establishes your worth. Your worth comes from who you were created to be and your desire to go out and give that to people in whatever role you find yourself. So I trust that you're encouraged by this today, ladies in particular. Challenge me on my thoughts, challenge me on my opinions. I love to hear it. And encourage me to share this video with a friend and join me right here on my Dr. Sherri page next Tuesday, every Tuesday from 12:30 to 12:40, where I am conducting weekly episodes of Off the Couch with me, Dr. Sherri. And I love it because I love to shift your perspectives and I love to speak life and truth to you. And I really do desire for you to have a thriving thought world. Reach out to me today, share this video with a friend, comment below. We'll see you next week, everyone. Bye.